Everyone had a word for Chloe. Dropout. They said it kindly, mostly. A few said it cruelly. She left college at 19, and for years the people around her, the ones with the degrees, the internships, the plans, they looked at her the way you look at someone who's already lost a race they haven't finished. What none of them knew was this. While they were collecting diplomas, Chloe was quietly collecting something else. And 25 years later, that quiet thing she was building would be worth over $1.5 million and out-earn every single one of them. This is her story. It's January 2000. Chloe is 25. She's working behind a counter, no degree, no safety net, and a head full of other people's doubts. But she reads one thing that lodges itself in her brain. There are companies that have raised their dividend every single year for decades. Boring companies, unglamorous companies. And she makes a decision that nobody applauds, because nobody even knows she made it. Every month, $500, money she can barely spare, split $50 each into 10 of them. And every dividend they pay her gets reinvested automatically to buy more. No announcement, no permission, just a quiet promise to her future self. Here's where her money went, $50 at a time. Chevron, Caterpillar, S&P Global, Ecolab, Medtronic, the Clorox Company, Sysco, General Dynamics, Cintas, and Nucor. Oil, machines, ratings, cleaning chemicals, medical devices, bleach, food trucks, defense, uniforms, and steel. The least exciting list you could imagine. And that was exactly the point. Chloe wasn't trying to look smart. She was trying to be free. The first years are quiet and slow, and honestly, a little lonely. By the end of 2003, her account is worth around $26,000. Meanwhile, her friends are graduating, landing the jobs, posting the photos. At every reunion, there's that little question. So, what are you doing now? And that little pause when she answers. She doesn't tell them about the $500. They wouldn't get it. But underneath the surface, those boring companies are paying her every quarter, and every dollar is buying more shares she didn't have to work for. By 2007, after 8 years, she's put in $48,000 of her own money, and the account has grown to around $74,000. Slow, invisible, working. Then, at 30, Chloe does the bravest thing yet. She opens her own little business, pours everything into it, her time, her savings, her name. And for a couple of years, it's the proudest she's ever been. And then 2008 arrives, and the whole world falls in. The financial crisis nearly takes her business with it. Customers vanish. Bills stack up. There are nights she sits at the kitchen table doing math that doesn't work, wondering if the dropout was right about herself all along. Everything in her screams to stop the investing, to claw back that $500 and just survive. And this is the moment the whole story turns. Because she doesn't stop. She keeps the $500 going, even as her hands shake signing the transfer. And what she can't see through the fear is that her money is buying Caterpillar, and Chevron, and Nucor at prices that may never come back. Every cheap share a seed she's planting in the dark. She didn't feel brave. She felt terrified. But she kept going. It takes years to claw back. The business survives. By 2012, the storm has passed, and her account, battered but never abandoned, has climbed to around $136,000. She's 37 now. Still no degree. Still underestimated. And still, every single month, that $500 goes in. And then the boring magic gets loud. The companies nobody admired start to compound in a way that's almost hard to believe. Caterpillar booms. Cintas climbs and climbs. Nucor and Ecolab quietly turn into giants. Her dividends, once a trickle, become a river, reinvesting, buying more shares every year on their own. By the end of 2019, 20 years in, Chloe has personally invested $120,000. The account is worth nearly $500,000. The dropout is, quietly, a near millionaire. And not one of her friends has any idea. Now it's today. Over 25 years, Chloe invested exactly $150,000 of her own money, $500 a month, through every doubt, every reunion, every sleepless night. So what is it worth? Approximately $1,630,000. Let that land. From a college dropout behind a counter, that's almost 11 times every dollar she put in. Nearly $1.5 million of growth she never deposited. And here's the share count she built, $50 at a time. Roughly 829 shares of Chevron, 389 of Caterpillar, 335 of S&P Global, 811 of Ecolab, 854 of Medtronic, 344 of Clorox, 900 of Sysco, 272 of General Dynamics, nearly 1,400 shares of Cintas, and 960 of Nucor. But the number that would make her friends go quiet isn't the $1.5 million. It's this one. Today, those 10 boring companies pay Chloe about $24,000 a year in dividends, roughly $2,000 every single month, landing in her account whether she opens the shop or not. That's a 16% return every year on every dollar she originally invested. The girl they called a dropout now earns more in dividends doing nothing than some of them earn at the jobs their degrees were supposed to guarantee. And here's the part she'd want you to hear most. She never did it to prove them wrong. She did it to set herself free. Being right was just the bonus. Chloe wasn't smarter than her friends. She wasn't luckier. She just started early, stayed boring, and refused to quit on the worst night of her life. We follow a man who started with nothing but a factory shift and a stubborn streak, and built something that outlived 3 recessions. You won't want to miss it. Stay boring. Stay invested. Quick note, this is for education and entertainment only, not financial advice. The figures are illustrations, and all investing carries risk. Do your own research.